What's up, everybody? Welcome to the Rush Hour podcast. I am Andy Huang, and we got Chad Penson,
Chad
who's
Penson.
just as funny as Chris Tucker, but definitely more jacked. And this is our first episode. This kind of came out of the blue, like I don't know, 2 weeks ago. And I've had two podcasts before, and I always love doing them. It's just like, the one with Brandon Allen, that kind of dissolved a little bit because Brandon kind of got canceled. And John just we started out well, but I think he's so introverted. He just doesn't like talking that much. And I think week to week he just kind of was over it and just didn't feel comfortable just talking, and it got like forced talking, like to do it for a podcast. He just didn't like that. So that kind of went away, but I've always wanted to do it. And just racking my brain and just seeing who I could find to be entertaining and fun, but also has to be strong too, because that's a requirement for this podcast.
Yeah, a little strong.
And who's got the most juiciest DMs? And there's no one else with juicier DMs than this guy, Mr. Chad Penson. So thank you for agreeing to be on the podcast and being a co-host. And I think we're gonna have a lot of fun with this.
Read.
Agreed. Okay, so we'll do a quick intro for those who don't know us or don't know a lot about us. I guess I'll start interviewing Chad a little bit just to like lead the question. So, real briefly, Chad, just talk about like where you grew up, kind of what sports you're into, and then what got into powerlifting.
Okay. So I grew up all over the South, moved from Louisiana to Mississippi, pretty much settled in Memphis, Tennessee, and then I wrestled all through college. I was a little small for football. I was like 100 pounds as a freshman. Um, After wrestling, joined the military and kind of still wanted to do some sports and ended up falling into a powerlifting meet and kind of got hooked. I was not very strong, but it was just fun. The environment was kind of electric. There was smelling salts and smell of testosterone and just everything was crazy. So I had a lot of fun. I don't even know if I placed or whatever, but it was a good time. So we got hooked.
What year was that?
Ooh, 2011.
So 12 years
Yeah.
ago. So, and did you first do like a USPA or AAU kind of meet?
It was an APF meet. There's like a
APF.
backyard meet
Oh
because I
yeah,
couldn't
yeah.
even find results for it.
I started with APF too.
Yeah, it was kind of ghetto, but it was fun though. So
Yeah, you don't know
but,
any better. You just fucking do whatever.
yeah.
And I'm sure people want to know do you remember your first numbers at that first meet?
Uh, I know I didn't squat more than like 315 or deadlift more than 315 because I never deadlifted until I got there. My bench was like 248, I think, or something like that.
Okay.
So it was 147 pounds. I was small. I was a little guy.
147. Wow.
Yeah.
And now you're hovering what, 230?
Yeah, I'm about 230.
230.
I haven't stepped on the scale in 2 weeks for obvious reasons, but
Right, right. Um, and then so I think we'll just get that out of the way. How long did you compete natural for? And when did you decide to join the dark side?
who was it? It was a boss of bosses. What was the last one? 4 or 5? It was six, wasn't it? It was six the last one?
Sixth, I think, yeah.
So
Like
boss of bosses
4 years ago?
was the one before the last one. So I think I was 25 or 26. My whole thing was I was like, I'll push it until like I'm top 10 or whatever. And I got there and I was like, all right, cool, whatever. Let's rock.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
You're kind of like a bodybuilder who turned pro natural first, and then he's like, all right, now we
Yeah.
juice it up. Okay.
Let's get big.
Yeah, and speaking of getting big, you have huge numbers. So let's talk about your records and some of your top numbers.
Let's see. So I got
Raptor.
I got the 198 and 220 all time world record squats at 881 and then 925. Also got the total in 198 too. I think it's 2199. Um, and I don't have any. I don't think I have any sleeve records yet. I was gonna try to get one in February, but I'll have to take a break.
You're you've hit it in training, but you've yet to do it in competition.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. Okay, so I mean that leads up to your recent injury, prepping for the Ghost Clash. Can you talk about what happened there?
Oh man. So I was getting ready to go into a deload the very next week, so this is I'm really salty about it. But I was planning on doing 777. What was the plan was 765 up to 782. So I chose somewhere on the higher end of the middle, and I wanted to hit it for
Triple.
three to four. If they were moving and grooving, I would have slapped four on there and called it good because they had a deload coming up. But yeah, so I hit one rep with a set before that, but my belt was in the wrong spot, so it was a little hard. So I was like, let me just reset all this real quick. So I waited about 10 minutes, got my belt in the right spot, and if you guys saw the video, the first rep flew. It was like crazy. I was like, cool, I got this. My pick was a little off, so I was a little shaky. That's why I was kind of shaking at the top a little bit. But I don't think that's what caused the issue. I went down into the hole on the second rep and just felt like my legs were just getting ripped apart, and I couldn't even yet tell them to get it because it happened so quick. It was just like I just lost it.
Yeah.
So
Did you feel like okay, so like I've torn my quad. It felt like and I heard like it felt like a zipper like unzipping on my quad, but obviously a
yeah,
little louder. Yeah, like a tear.
yeah.
Where some people feel like a pop, but did it for you? Was it more like a tear, or was it just like boom?
Honestly, it kind of felt like I had a cramp rolling through my legs,
It rolled up. Okay.
but
Yeah.
like from the side, like coming this way, and then just like a
Okay.
really hard pull. And then when I lost it, I got back. Well, I didn't get up, but I laid there for a while and just kind of was like, I can't move my leg. The left leg I could move it, but I knew it was jacked up too. But the right leg took the brunt of everything. Had to beg for an MRI at the hospital because they didn't know anything about sports injuries. But once they got the MRI guy to come in, it was confirmed I had an extensive tear on the vastus medialis on my right leg, which is the teardrop quad, and then the lateralis on my left quad. So I can't walk right now, but
Yeah,
I'm
because
getting a little better.
you had to go back to the hospital, right?
Yeah, so I had like some internal bleeding that was like a hematoma on the back of my leg, and it was apparently like the acidity of the blood or something was like interfering with like it wasn't clearing through my leg, it wasn't flushing good enough, so I had to get fluids and stuff like that. But I was basically in way more pain than I should have been. Like
Oh
they
wow.
had to pump me with morphine, and like I was taking like Percocet like every 2 to 3 hours
Damn.
to just deal with the pain at first. But once I was on enough fluids and I got some bed rest and kind of like had my legs elevated for a while, and didn't move because apparently I was moving too much like right after the accident. But it's like you got to go to the bathroom, right? So that was that. But
How long were you
once
in the
they flushed
hospital?
me, that was good.
2 days?
Was
Were
that
you in the hospital? You stayed
I was
overnight?
in there Friday to Monday actually.
Oh damn.
Yeah.
Now does okay, so you're in the military, right? Does that is the how's the insurance like? Does that cover your stay?
Oh yeah, I actually had went to the hospital. So I went to the hospital down the street from my house first, and then I transferred to my hospital on base. Most bases don't always have a hospital, like with an ER and stuff. But I got admitted on base, so everything with TRICARE is pretty much free. So that's why I was like telling them like, "Yo, give me the MRI because like Uncle Sam's gonna pay for it. I don't care. Like, give me whatever I need because like I need to know what's going on." The issue with like being in the military and getting like the free healthcare is like it's so damn slow. Everything is slow. They were telling me I couldn't get seen by ortho for like 2 weeks, and I'm in like immense pain, and like I'm going to the ER because I don't think I can handle like another day like this.
Yeah.
So
Damn. Now you're not like okay, so can you explain what you do for the military? And then now you're obviously not working, right? or can you do it
Not
from?
right now. I go back to work
Okay.
next week.
Okay.
I'm gonna try. Well, I'll be taking leave because if I can't walk, I'm not about to be rolling in there on a walker or this wheelchair I'm in right now.
Yeah. Oh, you're in a wheelchair.
Yeah, man. I've been popping wheelies too.
Well, yeah, I saw you on your walker. You're like seeing your speed. Dude.
And then the next, like 2 days later, I was like, I can't move.
A little too much, too fast.
Yeah, way too much.
We should start. We should have like a. You should start doing like races with a walker. Okay. What's your 40? What's your walker 40?
For like 22 seconds. It's pretty bad.
Yeah. Oh man. But for as far as the ghost route, I mean, your training was going pretty well, right? Except for deadlifts.
Yeah,
I only say that because you didn't post anything about your deadlifts. That's how we know deadlifts aren't going
bro.
well.
Facts. And before I even talk about anything else, like my deadlifts were trash for like the last two meets that I did, but somehow I was pulling 800, 815. I was like, all right, cool. None of them counted because I was falling over on one of it, and judges didn't like me on the last one. But
Yeah, yeah, that was
for
a
some
shit.
reason, I
Yeah.
can I can pull at the meets. I can't pull at home. So I'm gonna experiment with going to the gym and pulling in front of people, and maybe that'll help me next time. But everything else was moving pretty good. Like bench was trending pretty good. Um, Squats were trending real good. Like I was kind of impressed with myself. I was like, I could probably squat like close to 400 kilos right now.
Yeah.
So if I had a good peak, like I was expecting to, yeah, I probably would try to go for like anywhere from 860 to 880 on my third.
But
So
you were playing competing 220, right?
yeah, I just said screw it, man. I'm too big.
What's the
And I
uh what's the world record raw squat?
220 is 848. It's
That's
Joe
what Joe
Sullivan.
did.
Yeah.
You would you have gone that for like your second attempt? Beat it?
Yeah, probably.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, I knew it too.
Yep.
But no, I think you definitely have that record in you. It's just a matter of time. You just gotta. Is this your first significant injury?
Yeah, everything else has been kind of minor. Like I just needed rest and stuff like that. But
Right.
this one was it's the first one that landed me in the hospital, and I know I'm gonna be out for like more than a month. And
Yeah.
I can't even lay on the bench right now because my inner quad is so tight. Like I can't lengthen I can't do full hip extension at all on my right side yet. So I have to sleep at an angle and my leg propped up, or it won't let me sleep
Yeah.
at all. So
It's just yeah. There's just so much swelling and bruising, and it's all gonna take time to come up. It's just because it's all like pulled up. So you might want to put like a compression pants on or something maybe. But yeah, it's just time. You can't rush it. And even when you start getting back under the bar, you're still like very gonna be very timid and scared that like
yeah,
any moment. Yeah.
I'm expecting a long road. But we'll see if I'll be able to bounce back in time to do something for the American Pro or not. If not, whatever. But that's like I think
Yeah.
10 months now, so
Yeah.
we'll
It's
see.
10 months. It's one of those things where I think because squat is your best lift, it's gonna come back quick. You have to keep it in cruise mode long enough to where everything's healthy, and then you can bring it up. Bring it
Yeah,
up. You're gonna gain the strength back fine and fast. It's just knowing when it's safe to do that. So it's like, yeah, that's gonna be the challenge, and be obviously mentally being patient and getting over like any the fears during the during your comeback of like oh, this is shaky. Oh, that felt kind of tight. What does that mean? You just have all these fucking mental fucks, but you just follow a very conservative progression. Like, oh, I'm going to add 5 kilos every week and just, be very careful. Then not be too greedy. I think you'll be fine, obviously. So,
yeah,
but
it's gonna have to take my time.
yeah. So obviously we'll uh, keep up with that. Keep us updated on your rehab, and this will help a lot of people who I'm sure have torn things, and I've also had my share. So we'll cover all
I
that.
took my first actually took my first steps without my walker. I took like I had a Bria holding like my hands to make sure I don't like bust my ass. I took like 3 or 4 steps, and it was sketchy, but I was like, cool, I can put a little weight down. But
Yeah. Well,
feel
hey,
like
you're
I
gonna be doing a lot of like you're gonna be doing a lot of like upper body, like moving yourself out now. So you maybe you'll get like a improve your bench this way.
I'm not gonna lie, my triceps have been like getting worked between the
Yeah.
crutches, the walker holding myself up on it, and like now pushing myself in this wheelchair. It's like I don't know, I'm gonna have some mean tricep condition at the very least. So
Yeah.
silver lining.
Yeah, I think okay, so let me recap my injuries. Okay, I've torn my right patella meniscus, right quad, both adductors, like strain hamstrings towards like all black and blue, but nothing big tears. Minor. I've had a major pec tear, a bunch of minor strains. Always have elbow, forearm issues. Luckily, nothing with the back, and I think that's pretty much it. I mean, not
Yeah,
pretty
all
much it,
that,
but that's
nothing
it.
with the back.
Oh, all that and nothing on the back, luckily. But
Jealous.
yeah, jealous. But still here. It's part of the game. You're pushing your body. You're fucking doing so much weight, especially at your body weight. Like, and you don't have big joints, right? Like, you're pretty,
Nah,
yeah.
little knees,
You,
little calves.
yeah, yeah. If you weren't lifting, you'd probably be like 165 pound person.
That'd probably be really small.
Yeah.
Ugh, back up, girl. She's not moving.
So when do you think you're gonna go back to work? Just when you just get on a walker again?
Man, well, so I'm on quarters right now, which means I don't have to. I'm on like bed rest or whatever for the military, but that's over Friday, so I'm supposed to go back to work on Monday.
Okay.
But I haven't tried driving yet. Main thing is gonna be like getting in and out of the car by myself, and then if I need a walker or crutches, like getting to them out once I get out of the car. Um, if I don't feel like I can do that by Saturday or Sunday, I'm just gonna call in and like take leave and be like, yeah, I'll be in a few more days. I need more time because I don't think the doctors want to give me more time off as it is. So, but yeah,
Yeah.
they already gave me 2 weeks, and it's like they kind of like just figure it out.
Yeah. And you can't like use your home computer to work either.
So that's one thing I was gonna try out too. Like if they don't, like, I will ask them about taking leave, so I can just not do anything. But like if they can they can issue me a computer and I can work from home.
Yeah.
It just be like straight up paperwork. But I mean that's pretty much the majority of my job anyway. Is
Yeah.
emails and checking files and stuff like that. So it was
Gotcha.
really not too intensive.
But you said, I think we talked about you, if you're feeling up for it, you'll still go to Miami, which is like in a month.
Oh yeah, I think we said we weren't gonna do it because
Okay.
Bria's got school and everything, and she took like the last 2 weeks taking care of me. So and she's like working on her degree, so I don't want her to be struggling trying to stay up to date with her schoolwork just because like we want to go to Miami, so we just have to plan something later and make a little
Yeah.
trip for ourselves. But I
Yeah.
am sad to miss it. So
Plus it's like it's still pretty soon. So you might be, hurting or just not feeling comfortable there, like moving around and all that shit. So
yeah, 8 hours in a car and then sitting at a meet all day doesn't sound too appealing
no,
right now.
no, it sucks. I'll
Yeah.
just we'll uh we'll live feed it for you. I'll live stream my whole trip for you.
Thank you. I'll be
Send
tuned
you
in.
there. I'll put a backpack with an iPad here. What's up,
Like cut out
guys?
fat head.
Yeah. All right. Well, I didn't even talk about me. Well, whatever.
Hey, it's your turn.
Yeah, it's my turn. For those who don't know, I'm Andy, that huge Asian guy. I've been powerlifting for 10 years. Last I checked, I've done 20 meets. All but two I've done in raw sleeves. And the only reason I did wraps is because of the Kern and it's all that fucking money when it was like $200,000 prize money. And and I was curious. I wanted to see like, oh man, what can these reps do? And honestly, I didn't get that much out of it. But to be honest, I also didn't practice in reps much. I probably threw them on like 10 weeks out of a meet, not in the off season. So, um, but my best numbers: 848 squat, 523 bench, and 848 deadlift. Best total is 2204 raw and 2221 in reps. And my last PR was like, so I told 2193 in 2017.
Oh yeah,
And
your
then,
PR was at the pro, right? American
yeah, and
Pro.
then finally
Yeah.
at the pro 5 fucking years later, I got 5 kilos, guys. So I'm pretty much, I think my body's pretty tapped out. I know I'm pretty much at the limit of like what my body's capable of. At least I think so. Uh, but I'm trying different things. Like this last after the pro in September, I took a lot of time off from. I'm still taking some time off from powerlifting specific training, and just
Mhm.
focusing on bodybuilding, losing some body fat, and just staying away from like squatting and direct benching. So I want to see if like getting back into some bodybuilding and putting some more, trying to put some more muscle on, or just taking a break in general too will uh help things out when I get back into powerlifting. Because we've I've been pushing for like 9-10 years, so competing
Yeah.
2-3 times a year, or if like get injured, rehab, compete, get injured, rehab, compete, versus like take a long period of time where I don't peak and don't compete and don't push my body that much. So we'll see what happens. If this American Pro does, I make a significant PR, then yeah, I'm not ready to hang it up because I know I have some more. But if prep doesn't go well and I'm just not feeling it, I think I'm really close to just like retiring or whatever you want to call it. But I know
Yeah.
I'll always, yeah, but it's just not as fun, and I don't feel as strong. And all these young people are so fucking strong, and it's like,
Tell me about it.
yeah, dude, it's like, God, deadlifting 900 is like normal now.
I see one more like 18 or 17-year-old kid deadlifting 800 pounds. I'm just gonna suck start a shotgun.
Yeah, but at least you got your squat,
Wow.
man. At least you got your squat. It's like, and your total. I mean, let's be honest here. That's what matters too.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Yeah,
I'm just jealous. I wish I could deadlift.
I think you can. You have to play around. Either it's too much volume, or I think for you it's too much volume. Honestly, I think you should have been going. We've talked about this in the past. You shouldn't be doing fucking triples and sets of four at 5-6 weeks out from meet. God damn. Next time. This is a learning experience.
I definitely won't be
No,
doing that shit now.
no, man. Just be that single. Wow, single. All right, I'm done. No more.
That was great. Doing
Yeah.
accessory work.
Yeah, I mean, I found that in the past too. Like, I could do like 700 for five. I'm like, okay, 700 for five. I think my best triple was like 777. I'm like, okay, I should be able to do like 804 for a set of two, or a triple maybe. But when you get to that weight, like just doing more than one rep for it is just so much taxing. It's just not worth it. So, but
Yeah, that fatigue
hopefully,
builds up really, really, really quick the stronger you
yeah,
get.
yeah, it
So
does. Yeah. So yeah, I think you're better at singles anyways. So that's the
yeah,
sport anyways. Yeah. Um okay, well, enough about us. We'll talk about more. If you guys uh want to know more, have specific questions, we'll do like Q&As and stuff, and obviously you get to know some more as we do this podcast. So as far as this podcast, there isn't any like specific goal, but I just love to talk about the sport. um there's plenty of podcasts out there. But I did get kind of tired of like doing the same old thing where we just kind of like interview a guest, ask the same questions, like what got you into powerlifting, blah blah blah. And so obviously we want to not do that with this podcast. And I think one huge factor or feature we have is the power of Chad's DMs, which
the
it's
magical place
yeah,
for
it's a
Gary.
separate a separate category in powerlifting. So, um, but yeah, but we also just want to be more entertaining. Talk about other stuff besides powerlifting and other aspects of like health and strength and but entertainment and I think it also gives some good insight on relationship advice, sex advice. We're like the call her daddy of powerlifting.
I dig that.
Right? Yeah. And I want to have a lot of guests where we're like a bunch of us are just hanging out and talking. So versus just like us interviewing one person. So look forward to that. But if you guys have any other like suggestions or you know uh requests, obviously let us know. But that's kind of what we're looking forward to. And I don't think we want to like try and do one every week. I think that's just too much pressure to like with our schedules and life and doing one every week is just I don't know. I don't want to make this like a job unless you guys start paying us a lot. But
Yeah.
for now, yeah.
So the stream on
Um,
repeat.
yeah. Also, what I think we could do is like we could like get callers on or guests on our online live, and then we can like call their crushes,
Oh,
shit like that. Yeah,
that
it's
would
like
be
like
something.
if one of our listeners has a crush on someone like we know, we can like call them for them. You
That
know,
that would be hilarious.
it's like we're like a mini Make a Wish foundation for powerlifting or Tinder, whatever we do it all.
Like a pity whisper. We got y'all. We got y'all.
Yeah. So yeah, we got a lot of stuff we can talk about. But first, man, powerlifting. Wow. Some big old bombs being dropped recently. If you guys haven't heard, then you are not powerlifting fans or have
Yeah.
not been on the internet. And but anyways, some big drama with USPA. To sum it up in a nutshell, a lot of stories, accusations, um, evidence, and just stuff has been brought up to light regarding the USPA organization, United States Powerlifting Organization, and or association, and just stories of like people who work for the organization or are involved with it or meet directors. So meet directors are individual contractors, so they're not like employed by USPA, but obviously there's other employees of USPA, but most of it has been meet directors or refs um, accused of sexual misconduct, assaulting minors. Now I'm just saying accused, so I don't. Not all of them are, are convicted. So I'm just kind of summarizing, and the USPA has been on in some instances found out, in some instances accused of letting some of this slide or not addressing it properly. And if you follow Goob, who has multiple accounts, but you'll find it on Instagram. He has
Yeah.
been reporting some of the stories, and obviously a lot of people are jumping on there, commenting and sharing their thoughts and feelings and their experiences. And it's been a big storm of emotions and so obviously we want to talk about it, get our thoughts on it. And so this is just our thoughts, our feelings. We're not trying to accuse anybody. We're not trying to defend anybody, except for the victims. I do want to defend them. But we're also not trying to like argue with anybody. We just want to share our thoughts and our feelings, um, and then if you guys have any concerns or other thoughts, obviously share it with us, and we can try and help you and answer them or find someone who can. So with that said, also might add, besides Goob, I think Goob's name, I don't know, Goob's name is John. I can't remember.
You know, it's
And
funny. I know Goob, and I just call him Goob.
I know he has other, but also obviously Joe Sullivan has kind of been leading the pack in I guess speaking out for the lifters, speaking out for the people who are concerned, and addressing that to USPA. He's been on multiple phone calls and conversations with them, trying to like get through all the mess and along with a lot of other meet directors, trying to come up with the best solution. And so obviously shout out to Joe. We actually had Joe planned to come on the podcast and talk about everything, but something came up. And so I think we'll definitely follow up with this with some with Joe and some other people involved. That way we can kind of update you on progress and what's been accomplished and what still needs to be done and stuff like that. But for now, I guess let me just ask you, Chad, first. Like, what are your? I mean, I want to make this more specific instead of just saying what are your thoughts on it. But I guess I I don't know what question to ask, but what what are your thoughts on like is USPA is it fair what's going on with USPA? Are they doing the right thing now after what's been blown up? What do you think?
Uh,
Yeah, just start. I'm
I'll
not.
be honest.
Yeah.
That's a hard question to ask. I mean, to answer,
Yeah.
and I only say that because they did get caught up in a statement they made from 2020 with the background checks, and then that kind of came and bit them in the butt. You know what I mean? So it's the restructuring and everything. That's really a good step in the right direction. But everything, just saying something versus doing it is, actions speak louder than words. There's a lot of people that were upset. You got meet directors that have resigned. You got refs that have resigned. Members that have adamantly stated they're done. They were not going to go back to USPA. So I think what their best bet is to just follow through with all the things they said in the future, and I think that'll be really the deciding factor. I think they're heading in the right direction. I think everything they're trying to do now is definitely steps that should have been taken probably a while ago. But better late than never. I hate that. I hate what happened to the victims. That they kind of their complaints fell on deaf ears, and they had to deal with these things alone. Um, but hopefully, with everything getting implemented in the future, this won't happen again. Because I know in the military, I see this kind of stuff too a lot,
Right. Right.
and it's prevalent in any industry, and it's really sad. Um, but the best thing we can do is check our people. If you see somebody doing something they don't need to be doing or being a little mischievous, having doing misconduct, um, don't let it. Obviously, don't let it slide. Don't just turn a blind eye to it. Um, help your fellow man out. Because then it becomes like that good old boy club thing, and you just like, oh, cool, it's just having fun. That fun can turn into something so much worse. So hopefully this becomes like better because we don't really want to. Obviously, nobody wants to see this kind of stuff happening again. With people having misconduct, using their power to coerce people or whatever the case may be. It's just sad, honestly. But do I think they can come back from it? Yeah, the organization is just too big, I think, to just die out, and they're all making the right steps to try to rectify the situation. So it's going to be a big job for the people taking over. That's for sure. We have big shoes to fill and take some steps in. So I guess we just really got to see.
Yeah. I think to touch on when you said like this happens in any industry, and it does. But the more established industries have proper protocols and people to deal with the issues that
Yeah, and
are
resources.
being
Yeah,
no more resources. They have human resources, or they have just people who have experience in dealing with HR type stuff. Obviously, USPA didn't have that. And I'm first of all, I'm not excusing their actions. They should be um, held accountable for everything wrong that they did. But I'm just saying, I think I know why, or kind of can see how it happened, is because like Steve, president of USPA, just started this as a as a federation, like just to give another avenue for people to powerlift, and it grew to be where it is now. But like Steve is not probably not the best businessman, and maybe the people who he hired to work with USPA are also powerlifters, but also they're not like they're not hired to the right positions, or they're having to do multiple positions that they're not experienced in doing. So like in the case of like Mike Tronsky, who getting like that majority of the heat on this, maybe he wasn't the right person to deal with complaints and human resource stuff, and so he handled it wrong, or they handed it off to. Okay, so there's this. Let me. Sorry, I want to jump, but there's this uh, belief that there's no human resource at USPA, but there is. It's one person, but they're also not gonna like name that person because they don't want that person to get reamed. And I don't think this person powerless, so I don't think it's relevant. But there is a human resource person there, but they didn't do a good job. So
It looked
anyways,
like
back
it.
back to Mike. So what I'm saying is just the wrong. We can all be in greens. The wrong people are in the wrong positions making the decisions. So
Yeah. Yeah.
whether it's they're not adequate at doing it, they're not experienced at doing it, or they're just too lenient because of the good old boys mentality. Because a lot of the executive committee are like old guys, and there's a big generation gap, and they just think you know these things aren't as serious, and they're just not in touch with the way society is, and how things need to be done nowadays, and need to be more sensitive and more proactive in solving these things. So that's I think the biggest issue: the wrong people in the wrong positions with power making the decisions. Um so I like I said, like you said, it is there. I think they have a good plan. Obviously, their plan isn't gonna be as comprehensive as like everybody wants it to be, and there's a lot of things that they want certain people fired, and they are doing that, but they can't satisfy everybody's request. But I think for the most part, what they laid out is a good step um, towards being a better organization. And of course, everyone is just holding their breath to see if they follow through. I personally think they are, but that's because Iron Rebel worked in the same office together, and I have talked to Steve directly, and I've voiced my concerns, my thoughts, and what I relay to him, what I hear from other lifters, and talking to him about that stuff. And I've heard him on phone calls and taking calls with HR department or HR people. I think they're looking at safe sport for the background checks, which is I think what USAPL uses, and I
Yeah,
think
that's
like
what they use.
the YMCA too, or a whatever. So I see it in the works. This can't happen overnight, and I have no reason to believe that they're gonna just like lie to my face. But I see it happening. I mean I do have some reason to doubt, but I from what I see and hear, it's in the works. And I've known Steve for a long time, and he's always the problem is he really means well, and he likes giving people second chances. And in the powerlifting world, it's a lot of people who come from shady backgrounds because this is a sport that is filled with testosterone and anger and demons, and there's going to be some different types of people. There's a corporate lawyer, a house mom, and then there's the biker guy who sells drugs. So there's gonna be people from all walks of life with shady past, and I think Steve believes in giving people second chances, but there's certain things that have zero tolerance, and I think he just lost sight of that. And so, either way, whatever mistakes they made, they should be held accountable, but they are making the steps to change everything, and we all as a community are gonna obviously keep a close eye on this, and that I hope and I'm pretty positive that overall this is gonna be better for the powerlifting community. They're getting rid of they fired a lot of people. They're getting rid of a lot of the trash. It should have happened a long time ago, obviously, but it's happening now. So let's focus on the future, focus on what they're changing, and then just we the powerlifting is one of those few sports where we the lifters have so much power.
Yeah.
Just like it'll start off as multiply, but people don't want to do that. So as a community, we switched to raw, and now look how
Hmm.
big raw is, and now even there's even less reps. So there's just we have a big voice, and with social media, we have a very powerful voice. Um, so I'm glad that this is like a direct result of you could see like how strong our voice is, and we can make changes. We just have to be unified and make the changes or make our voice heard. So yeah, so that's our thoughts on it so far. Um like I said, we're gonna try and get Joe back on, and I had Kate Haddad, who's also a meet director, on. She's scheduled, but then something happened with her kids, so kind of worked out that way where we're just gonna do this show ourselves, or this first one ourselves, and gonna give our initial thoughts on it. I think we'll do a follow up in the next episode and see the progress that USPA has made. But also, there's I think this is going to be across all federations. Like you see all the changes WRPF are making, because they're
Yeah.
seeing it. Yeah.
They
So,
uh they actually sent out a bunch of emails out to a bunch of people just kicking them out left and right.
oh yeah.
Yeah. I was like,
What about
ooh,
that guy? It starts with a Z.
oh,
I don't.
Zebulon?
Yeah.
Wow.
That guy is a
That dude is
character.
notorious.
Yes. So okay. So I met him like I don't know, 6, 7 weeks ago, because Ironmongers Rick Simmons had like a 10-year anniversary and he invited him. So I've never talked to him directly. I don't know about him, but in person, he's just like this like over the top, loud, and he's huge too. And he was funny, but he was a little too much for me. I was just like, all right, dude, I don't talk that much. Just you calm down, like.
Yeah.
And he's just like talking about like everything he's gonna do. Like he's gonna break this record, break that record. I'm like, that's awesome, man. I hope you do. You're really strong. But I hear this all the time from everybody. They're telling me what they're gonna do, and they don't do it. So, but all the best to you. Little did I know, this guy's like a fucking bully to all women.
This man, when I shared that story Brianni did,
Yeah,
I,
yeah.
I I shit you not. I think I counted 8 different women that I didn't know about. There was one that I already knew about, who was telling me about him before. And I had 8 different women all message me like screenshots and saying like, "Oh, this dude been bothering me for years. Oh, he used to try to pop up at the gym." And it's like then he made his little response video, and it's like, bro, I don't think you understand that if it's not them, it's you. You can't be the only right person out of like 50 people you've like stalked and got banned from gyms and got restraining orders. Like, I don't think you understand how that works. You're wrong here at some point. So
Yeah, and all if all these people just showed us their screenshots of the DMs, like you would just
yeah.
see a pattern of like the creepy guy and some violent behaviors,
I
thoughts.
mean,
So
honestly, if I shot my shot at 15 women and I got 15 bricks, I'd probably off myself. The man has no game. The way he talks to women it's so cringy. Like I just kind of wanted to ball up and die. It's bad.
he sends. I guess I mean I only saw that post that you reposted. I guess he was sending nudes too, right?
Yeah, there was one girl sent me like the screenshots of that convo, and for whatever
He
reason, I had to tell
unsent
people
it.
that he wasn't talking to me. I don't know why people didn't get that, but
Yeah,
uh,
obviously.
I'm like, I'm not gonna be that nonchalant about some dude sending me nudes. But all right, cool. But yeah, he said he met him like 24 hours before that, not even, and he was like just sending her like little jerk off videos and stuff, and like she's like, wow, it's a little quick, buddy.
Okay, I don't know why guys don't understand this, and I feel like it's pretty common sense, but like girls don't care, don't want unsolicited dick pics.
No, they do not.
Like, what do you think that they're just gonna like, oh my god, it's so beautiful.
Like if they're
Do
curious,
me.
they'll ask.
They'll ask.
You know,
Like,
they'll throw that hint out there or something, but just them saying hello when you say hey first, it's not the
no,
that's
no,
not the consent barrier to just throw your dick pic at them. You know.
no. Even before hello, there's people who they hit up a girl and the girl just ignores them like for 5 messages and they just decide to send a pic anyways. Like,
Oh yeah, the guy that
oh,
talks
that's
stuff.
the
Yeah,
solution. Oh,
yeah.
okay.
This will get
That
her
that's
attention.
yeah.
She's gonna love this.
Oh my
Oh, I
gosh.
don't think you know how this works, buddy. Yeah,
Guys. If you want to send anything unsolicited, send flowers. But also, well, that would require you to get an
get their
address. Never
address.
mind.
Be a little creepy.
Send send Venmo. Listen, you want to impress them? Send a Venmo. Okay. Tell them,
Venmo,
hey,
Cash App. Yeah,
Venmo, Cash App, whatever. Send $20. That'll get their attention.
yeah.
But anything else other than that is going to be negative. So, or you get you blocked. So, just take some advice. God.
That'll get you way farther than that random dick pic, dog. I promise. Or you
For
could just
sure.
kind of talk to people like you just want to be friendly and not be weird. I don't know why it's so hard. I mean, I talk to a lot of people. I'm just friendly to them. I don't know why people have such difficulty doing that, but I don't know. Men are
It
dumb.
it is weird because like yeah, like in my comments and DMs, a lot of people are like, how do you talk to all these girls and how come they're always like around you, blah blah blah. I'm like, okay, like the first thing is I don't like talk to girls to flirt with them or to get at them. You know, whether I'm single or not single, I don't ever like start a conversation or meet someone and just get into like this flirty thing. It's always just like it 99% of the time it's like for powerlifting. It's like nice lift, good job, blah blah blah. Or when are you competing next? Or if I'm like on behalf of I'm Rebel, I want to like send them gear or whatever. Like so it's never like come out like in that approach. Like that's it's just
Just general
girls gonna
conversation.
girls gonna put up a block right out of the way because that's like 90% of these girls you talk to are number one probably taken, or if they're not taken, they're not interested in being in a relationship or talking to you in that way. And and then people get mad when they start ignoring these messages when you start coming on so strong. That's because it doesn't an attraction doesn't come from just one sentence or just looking at your profile. It's built through like a relationship, a friendship, and they can't get to know you and like you if all you want to do is fuck them. So, you know, so you're okay. Your conversation can't start with heart eyes, hearts. You so fine, yo girl, all these things. All right,
What's up, baby?
what's up, baby? Like I don't play. I don't claim to have game, but I'm just saying I at least get past the first sentence.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. These dudes, man, I seen some stuff. I'm always just kind of like left speechless, but the things I see. But you can't really teach a class on that stuff. You just kind of don't be weird. It's really don't be
Yeah,
a
but
creep and don't be weird.
that's too general. They don't what they think is creepy is not creepy. That's like
Yeah,
I
they're like,
don't
oh, this is
understand
normal,
it.
Zebulon. This is what they want. Women want me. I'm a specimen. No,
Nice.
no, they don't want you.
Okay,
Oh
so
man,
all right, so moving on from USPA, like I said, we'll this is not definitely not the end of it. We will keep you guys updated, follow up on it with different people with more information. But I think now is a good time to go to a more funny, positive section where Chad earlier today put up confessions or comments and questions or whatever, whatnot. But I think confessions, right?
I got some questions and I got like
Okay.
some
Yeah,
answers.
let's just pick a few and we'll just start with one and then we'll just keep going there.
All right, I got some. Did a little NGL thing today. Okay, I'm not doing that
What does
one.
NGL stand for? Does anybody
I
know?
think it's like just not gonna lie. I don't know.
Oh, that's stupid.
That's
Anyways.
what I would assume, but I mean, yeah. Let's see. This isn't juicy. All right, but I'll start off with this one since we kind of talked about girls earlier. All right, so do you feel like once a cheater, always a cheater? If it was done in a previous relationship, but not in the current one?
No.
Yeah, that's,
I mean,
I'm
yeah.
gonna say no too, because like when you're really all in with somebody, like you don't really need to or care to cheat. I don't think. Some people though, it's just kind of in their nature. I've seen it, experienced it. So, but that's person dependent. I think it depends on your personality and the relationship too. So hard to say.
Well, I think if you have cheated in the past, you have a more likelihood chance of cheating again because morally you already have like you've already done it and you you're most likely not gonna like trying to say you're most likely gonna be like more numb to it because you've done it already,
Yeah,
you
I think
know.
too. Like if you cheated because like you were just being malicious just because you wanted to go out and get another piece of ass or whatever. That's one thing versus like, oh, you were neglected the whole time in the relationship and somebody kind of just came in and treated you nicely, maybe before you actually left the relationship. That could be that to me.
Yeah,
That's different, and I've seen that before. Like 'cause some people just get trapped in relationships and they're just like they can't leave or they don't know how to leave, but they're just not getting anything from that person they're with. So I think that's too many variables for that question to give a straight answer. Honestly,
yeah,
that's my
but
that's my take on it.
just initial thought, it's no. Just because you did it
Yeah,
once doesn't mean you're gonna do it every relationship for the rest of your life.
yeah,
So
that's a no.
or like if you're younger, you're dumb, you were probably not in love and or didn't understand what a real relationship was or what real love is, and or like in circumstance like you were just saying, like you just weren't happy and you didn't know how to get out of it and whatever. So yeah, the answer is no,
Yeah,
in our opinion.
let's see. All right, I got a question for Andy.
Oh,
They want to know if you've seen John's hog.
well, since I've been through I don't know 5 6 weight cuts with him and water cuts to where we're doing sauna and after you get out of the sauna, you want to weigh yourself. You gotta weigh yourself naked because
You got to
your
towel
short,
off.
yeah, because your shorts are wet, so you don't want to put that on. And of course, I have to spot him while weighing himself because he might fall over because he's dehydrated. He might, so I have to spot him. So yeah, I've seen
You,
it plenty of times, but
you
it's
blushed.
it's always it's always been soft, so I can't tell you how big it is hard, but I can say it's not small, it's not huge, but it's cute. Looks great.
Like a button.
But yeah,
uh,
I've seen it. It's not like I'm trying to like stare at him and look at it, but like I said, when we're cutting weight together, and he just weighs on the scale right in front of me. I caught a glimpse of it, and I wonder if there's any other instance where I saw it. I'm trying to think because I lived with him, but also I just invited John on, so he might. I was hoping he'd get on right now.
oh
um,
god, that'd be hilarious.
So no, other than that, I haven't seen it, and like I said, it's just a normal penis that you. Oh, hold on,
We've all seen a dick, everybody.
hold on.
Is he getting on?
He's getting a hello. Hello. We were literally right now talking about your penis. Let me give you context.
The hot topic.
Chad had a question from a follower, and he said, "Have you ever seen John's penis?" And I said, "Yes, plenty of times." because we've cut weight together, and when you get out of the sauna, you gotta take off your pants and you get on and you gotta weigh yourself. So
Yeah.
yeah.
You said it was
So yes,
cute though.
it was cute.
I would like to argue that it's pretty shriveled at that moment.
No, I said, hey, I've never seen it hard, so I can't say how big it is. But I said it's definitely not small. It's not huge. It's cute.
According to my girlfriend, it's the perfect size.
It's the perfect size.
Yeah, that's what
It's
they all say.
perfect for somebody. Yeah.
Oh man. Oh shit.
All
Okay.
right. So
So
you guys
essentially
don't
that.
know. This is John. We're just going over his he
The
put up
DM.
whatever a link. Yeah. Just we got questions, confessions, everything. So we got you join in at the fun time.
Oh, good. I would love to go through these.
Yes. You should bring some up too.
I don't.
All right, you look through your old ones. I'm sure you can look at the old ones. They're still there. And then chat go on to the next one.
I feel like all my NGLs have been pretty lame recently. It's always the same.
That's what it's to
Oh,
say. You gotta like scroll back to the
I have
old
five.
ones.
Did you see?
Chat go with the next one.
Let's see. All right. So somebody said dick size and how to increase it. I don't really know if they're asking like how big my dick is
I think it's
or
yeah. I think it's
okay.
both.
Well, it's
I notice if if you take citrulline, like a lot of citrulline or like a pump product, like I get like better erections.
that shit. I thought about that actually.
Yeah.
My
Better.
advice was just gonna be black, but that's more solid than what I was gonna say. So get some
uh
citrulline, guys.
Yeah.
yeah, any type of like pre-workout stuff that provides a pump because it's just blood. So it'll give you a fuller, longer erection from what John says.
I like a little Cialis pre-workout sometimes. It's great.
Yeah.
Gives me
It also
headache.
helps with
I
pumps a
don't like
little
a
bit.
pre-workout.
Feels fucking great.
I've honestly haven't measured my penis in years and I can't remember how big it is.
It's probably the same size.
I don't know. What if
It
it
could
got
have shrunk. I don't
smaller?
know.
I don't know. He's
What if
lost
it
some
got
weight
smaller?
recently. He might be poking out a little bit more.
I don't know. But it's definitely average. Average for a normal person, not average for an Asian. You fucking
What did Sharon
stereotype
say?
people. I don't know. I can't remember.
She's like, "Wow, you're pretty big for an Asian guy." And you're just like,
Oh,
I'm like, what do you mean?
thanks.
So a big for an Asian means average for a non-Asian. So again, I am average. We gotta have girls on the next one and ask
Yeah,
Just
questions too.
I feel weird to like. You can ask my girlfriend how big it is, and if she wants to answer, you can. She can.
well,
Chat, I know for a fact you've measured yours.
oh yeah, I did like a while back. It's pretty big. It's great, but I mean, I'm pretty
Is it
sure like
plus
half of Powerton has seen my dick by now. So
plus or minus 7?
plus,
Oh, single digits though, please.
yeah,
We're back
dear
from
God,
the butthole, right?
yeah, that'd be fucking terrible. I couldn't imagine having a double digit long schlong. That's just too much, bro.
No,
Yeah.
That's you couldn't even go
like
all the way. You know what I'm
you would.
saying? Like
You also wouldn't be comfortable, I assume, like wearing underwear and pants and shit.
I have
Yeah,
quads, so already I'm not comfortable now.
yeah.
I feel like you can relate to that, so I don't know.
I can. I get. Yeah. I gotta move it out of the way all the time because it gets scrunched.
Taking up too much space. Oh shit. These were kind of dry today. Not gonna lie, because I did it kind of late, and I usually I'll cycle through them and post them on my story too,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
it kind of keeps them coming in.
Mhm.
But I got a lot about a lot of people asking about the USPA stuff, and
Talk about that yet?
We did.
yeah, we touched it
Well,
like
I didn't.
briefly.
I was gonna Joe was gonna come on and Kate, powerlifting mama, but something personal happened with Joe and powerlifting mama's Kate's kids got sick. So But we'll do like a follow-up one with them. That way we can get like it'll be more of a USPA specific one, I guess. But yeah, we just kind of just gave our thoughts on everything.
Yeah.
You have any thoughts on it? No details.
I don't know. Not really. I made a post like saying I wasn't happy with how they handled things, obviously, with like especially the
response.
Not so much the response, but more like I guess like the HR like thing I think was like the worst, or like where people complain about like Chico and other people like assaulting them and or like I don't know, being out of line, whatever
I didn't
way.
even see that one coming.
And the fact that those are like going on deaf ears is where it's like, okay, this is an issue. And yeah, it's one of those things where I'm like, I'll be a supporter, but I definitely don't want to be like a leader in this movement. And it was like kind of annoying where people expected me to make a statement, and I was like, fuck.
Yeah. Well, I think also too, like you don't know that they didn't do anything, or you don't know why they didn't do anything. But they didn't respond to it, so we don't know. That's the bad thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't in that specific instance, like obviously there's been enough evidence of Chico behaving that way that he's fired everything. But I think there's some times where and I'm not, like I said, I'm not defending it either. I'm just saying I think if there's no police report filed, then it's become like a he said she said thing. But also I don't know like what the reply back to her was, or if there was, you know.
Yeah, I think the weird thing too is like, how do you let this go on so long, even without like, because I know a lot of people just say that they weren't getting responses like at all. They just like, oh, we're forwarding this to HR. HR never gets back. So it's like whoever the HR person, like you said earlier, they obviously they failed miserably on their job.
Yeah.
So
yeah. By the way, John, they do have an HR. I asked them and I talked to them, and they do. That's one person, but she's not like a power lifter. So like they obviously they also aren't obligated to tell people who the HR person is. But whoever it was sucked. Yeah. And I think there was no follow up with the HR person too, seeing hey, did this get taken care of? You know what I'm saying? So obviously, but overall, me and Chow are like, mistakes are made. They gotta be held accountable. The wrong people are in the wrong positions of power, and that needs to be changed. And once that happens, I think this will,
I mean, I think at this point, there's like definitely people like with the latest update of like, oh, Steve and all these other people aren't going to be like involved in the decision making going forward. And people are like still, well, there's a lot of people that are like still have issues, and like they're obviously had their right to have the issues. I mean, I still do as myself. Like at this point, just don't compete in the USPA. Like I don't know. I don't think there's anything that they can do to like earn your trust at this point outside of like Steve selling it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, I think there are a lot of people on the fence though. They want it to get better. They're just waiting for what they're saying they're gonna do to actually happen.
Yeah. Yeah.
And
That definitely
so
the action.
yeah.
See.
So but I mean, I was saying earlier that obviously I'm in the offices with them, and I know they are in the process of doing that, and I see I see them making the calls and doing the thing. So we'll just see how much of it ends up being concrete.
Yeah.
They kind of have to get something done because like there's just no other federations really in most states to even have people competing.
Seems like a lot of the good meat directors, at least now, they have like an avenue into like WRPF if they wanted to.
They are, but WRPF cannot handle if USPA went down now. They cannot handle. They don't have the infrastructure to handle 10,000 lifters. Say.
Yeah,
they don't have enough meat directors. They don't have enough like support to do all that.
Well, like a lot of the USPA meat directors, I think would just switch over and then that would
but it's not as simple as just like I just changed my name tag. You know what I'm saying? So, but
Yeah.
either way, it doesn't matter. Either way, like I tell my client, we didn't talk about this, but I coach, we all coach. I don't direct my clients to any federation.
Yeah.
The first and foremost thing is like the timing, like when you want to do a meet. Like if you want to do a meet in April, but there isn't one, like obviously you can't do it.
Yeah.
So the timing, and the location and the meet director. It doesn't matter what fed, it's just whatever works best for you. I don't help, I don't dictate to them. I just let them decide. So moving forward at this point, I'm like, hey, these are your options. Tell me what you want to do. And I honestly go with what they want. So they're not pressured by me to choose one or the other. I know a lot of the meet directors in California, obviously, so I tell them which ones. That's why you see all my clients competing in the same meets, because it's the same meet directors. I know what to expect and what kind of like meet they put on. So that's what I think.
Yeah, I'm just glad that none of my meets come for the next like year USPA, so I don't have to make that decision really.
Yep. I haven't done one in 2 years, I think, until the USPA Pro.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
whatever.
Yeah, this is gonna be more for the majority of the lifters.
Yeah.
Not the.
All right, let's get some fun DMs going.
Yes. All right, John, your turn.
I don't have any. I didn't know I needed DMs.
You get like confessions. Oh, you don't do confessions. You do Q&As.
Yeah, I don't do the confessions.
So I got one. This one's from last week though, and it was kind of funny to me. So they said the wife and I had a threesome with her girl coworker. He lasted 3 minutes and he went back to work while they kept going. I find a lot of issues with that personally, because why am I going back to work? Why did I last 3 minutes?
Like, where are they working?
I don't know.
Was this like a lunchtime? Oh, walked in and your wife's just going at it with her friend, and you jumped in for 3 minutes and like, oh shit, I gotta go back to work.
Did he finish in the 3 minutes, or was he like, oh no, I gotta go back?
He probably literally lasted 3 minutes. That's my guess.
What if it was like his first threesome and he was just so excited and he just busted in 3 minutes?
Pathetic.
But it's also like did they do it, like let's say they did it in his office and then he finished and then he's just back on his laptop where like over the shoulder there's just like still going.
He's like working from home.
That's what I'm wondering.
Yeah, that's excusable.
I don't know.
It was her
minutes
coworker.
For a threesome sucks.
Was it her coworker or his coworker?
He said it was her coworker. Her coworker.
Okay.
Yeah.
Coworker.
So maybe he just
like maybe they were having like a wine night,
and he left. Maybe they were just at his house and he left and went back to work. I don't know, or his lunchtime sounds like, but
yeah,
I don't know.
Could you imagine having I feel like having a threesome on a lunch break is just like kind of wild to me.
It's just too casual. Like you just
very casual.
Yeah, like I feel like I feel like a threesome's like something where it's like, oh, we're all out drinking, and oh, my girl started flirting with this girl, and then it kind of like snowballs. It's not something like, like,
there was no build up.
Noon, I'm gonna go home and have this casual threesome. Like I don't know, unless you're into like a full on like throuple.
It sounds like it was scheduled almost. Maybe it's too casual.
It's very casual.
Just go back to work.
It's not like an afternoon blowjob. It's
like if you're having threesomes on a Wednesday afternoon, I applaud you.
Yeah, that's pretty impressive.
maybe he's like an appointment. Like, all right, 10 o'clock meeting, 11 o'clock, gotta whatever, and then noon is like threesome lunch.
Yeah, he blocked this shit off his schedule just so he could jump in 3 minutes. Broke a good sweat, hopped in the shower, they're still going.
If you're playing it out and you only give yourself 3 minutes, like that's just poor planning.
Maybe he just
probably gave himself the hour and just got overwhelmed. I don't know.
Half hours for showering.
Are we talking like 3 minutes of like him
intercourse,
or like does that include like foreplay, like giving head?
If you got foreplay and penetration and you still and you finish in 3 minutes, that means you were like in there for like a minute.
But yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's even worse.
Okay. Well, listen, whoever sent this and you're hearing this, we need more details. We need context.
Yeah.
We have questions.
Yeah, this is the most casual confession threesome I've ever heard in my life.
Yeah,
I think it's
we need a place, a time.
Wait. Was it the girl that confessed it or the guy?
This was definitely the guy because he said his
Yeah.
wife.
Okay.
And he said I went back to work.
I bet it's fake.
Like who? I mean, bravo. You know, come home on your lunch break and just clap 2 sets of cheeks and then go back to work. I mean, I'm not mad at it. Even if it was only 3 minutes, you know, you still did it.
Yeah.
You're going to work with a smile. You know, you're going to finish those last few hours and not give a
true.
shit about anything. So
He probably went to work.
He probably left
to brag about it.
He definitely went and high five someone. I just gave that girl the best 3 minutes of those girls the best 3 minutes of their life.
Changed her life. Yeah, he was definitely feeling himself after that. So, I mean,
they probably just like talk shit the whole time after he left. Like, all right, let's actually make each other come.
Yeah, they definitely took care of each other way more than he did. Yeah.
Oh,
Still hit though. So bravo, brother.
this guy probably thought we were gonna like just talk him up so much, and now we're just shitting on him.
It's terrible performance. I mean, there's room for improvement.
For shame.
All right, I got one more, and this one, I don't know. It's a little wild to me. Ate my chemistry teacher's ass in her classroom after school.
I've seen chemistry teachers. That is not a flex.
That is. I used to want a PE teacher. Everyone, you know.
Yeah. How many teachers in your life have you found attractive? I've had one.
Oh man.
Miss Bungard in 5th grade.
Miss Wise, if you're hearing this, I love you still. To this day, she's still hot. It's been like 12 years.
I'm trying to think here. Because I feel like there's like a bunch that I would be like, wow, you're like attractive. And I'm trying to think if I'm like, is it attractive because you are a teacher? And that's kind of a little bit forbidden.
It's like the MILF factor, you know?
Yes, that's what I'm thinking. Like, I can't remember their names. Probably two that I'd like. If like I saw out now, I think I'd be like, wow.
I think I got two. My algebra teacher was pretty hot, but she also failed me once. So it's kind of like,
now you want to hate fucker.
Yeah, that would have been great.
Hate fucker.
Yeah, she was hot, but damn, I hated that lady with like everything in me. All right, so the biggest red flag in this post is just the fact that it's a teacher in their classroom, and it doesn't say like what age this is. So I'm just like, if this was reversed and it was a girl and it was a boy teacher, this would be terrible. I mean, it's still terrible in one way, but like it could have been a professor, but they didn't say professor. So I'm just like,
yeah,
who's clapping their teacher's cheeks in high school? Like this is wild.
Yeah, I mean, we could be talking about statutory rape here, and
yeah, this is definitely a crime. I don't condone it.
This is why it's in the confessions and not.
It could be like a senior that's like 18 though. Like,
let's go with that.
But it is still a person of power. So,
yep.
I think in college
I just went over this position of authority.
I think in college I still called professors teachers though. I don't really say
no, professors are TAs.
Yeah, I never.
I don't know. This one's cloudy. I mean, if it was me, I'd fist bump me. But like for the sake of all the other children in the world, this is wrong, and that's all I'm gonna say about that.
If this was above 18 consensual, then fist bump. Yes.
Yeah.
But
oh,
what is it about teachers? Is it okay? Is the teacher the same thing as like a nerd? Like fantasy wise, like do you picture a teacher fantasy? Is that the same as like a librarian?
Speaking of fantasy, don't mean to go off the side, but you did do terribly, and I feel like we have to haze you for.
But I wasn't last place, so get the fuck off me.
Oh, you were last.
No, Kimmy and whoever was last.
Oh,
I think
Caitlin. I'll check.
I didn't even try. Like, halfway through the season, I didn't even touch it. But yeah, like so, Chad, do you think there's a difference, or you guys, do you think there's a difference between a teacher fantasy and a librarian fantasy? Or is that kind of like the same, like nerdy or
I think it's like the same thing because like when you're young, you see like these older hot like MILF status women, and you're just like, please teach me everything you know, like mama, feed me, tell me what you want me to do. Like you're pretty much gonna do whatever they tell you to if the time came. But I think it's just like that. You're 16, 17, 18, you see this 35-year-old woman, and it's like she's gonna change my life.
what? Well, okay, but what about now? If you're an adult, and then is there a fantasy about a teacher? It just doesn't feel the same, right?
Mm.
No, it's just then you're just going straight to the MILF category in porn. It's like the same. You get the same thing, but then they're like damn near my age now, or it's
Yeah,
like whatever.
they could be younger than you too.
That's true. I have seen some young professors. Like I've seen some 24, 25-year-old
Yeah,
professors.
but what's I'm saying now this just becomes a person in uniform. Like this is like a nurse or a cop or
Okay, yeah, cop, yes. Dear God, lady cop, yeah. That's
Mm.
what I got right there for real. I'm just picturing
You
myself
would
speeding
have
pulled over.
what was like you would have ran train on that cop, right?
that white
What?
girl.
Yeah.
What? Oh, the one that was all over Facebook.
Yeah.
Yeah,
What is
She's
okay? What is the latest position in the train you would go that you'd still be like, yeah, I'm gonna hit that? Like if they're like you were number 7, would you still like be like, yep, I'm going to go, like it's my turn?
Dude,
I
I'd
think
go home. If there were 7 of us,
three,
like,
Three?
no
three would
way.
be three because I feel like the first one or two, one of them could finish really fast. I'm like, okay, I still got a little bit of, but after three or four people, it's for sure there's just too much DNA in there.
She's just not. She was just not, man. It's just
And
like that.
she was not cute at all. She
Yeah,
looked like
it's
a
just
12-year-old girl.
that's the proof in the pudding right there of like availability versus like just you know hotness. Like yeah, if it's just there and they're throwing it at you, it's like, well, I'm
Those
at
like
work. I have
six
to.
guys or whatever are part of a brotherhood now, and I think that's magic.
Hold on.
This is tragic.
That poor husband.
Oh man, damn. You think he knew?
Uh he's staying with her now, which is just wild to me.
I think he knew the whole time. He's probably like encouraging it.
So saying someone like her doesn't just do this out
He's
of
like,
nowhere.
yeah, I think he must have
There's
known.
some build up to it, or
Yeah,
she's
she's
done it
There's
before.
no way he wouldn't have like been like, oh, you got railed by what was it, 6 guys?
6 guys.
yeah.
6 guys at minimum, and been like, yeah, I still want to stay with you, unless he knew.
Yeah, he had to have known. Like he was complicit. Yeah, like hardcore. He probably had them all over for like barbecue and chill or some shit on like a Sunday.
Yeah, he probably shares her all the time.
Well,
The
if
only
they're
thing
into
is,
that, good for them.
th-
I don't want to kink
But
shame.
don't shit where you eat. That's you. Come on duty.
Are you telling me you don't eat tacos on the toilet? It's just official.
The fumes, man, it's just too much for me. It's too much of a mix.
too confusing.
Spice and then the spice. No. But yeah, that was the wildest thing I saw on Facebook in a long, long time. So
Good for
It's
them.
crazy.
yeah,
Good
good for her. Really, I mean,
I like
eyes
that kind
weren't
of
doing
like blows
anything.
my mind. Like, how do you get to that conversation? Like, we should all have, I don't know. Because I've never been like, I guess I've never been approached to be like, by a girl, be like, do you want to run a train on me?
I bet it was more like one guy did it, then another guy did it, and like they told each other about it, and then she was probably like, you tell your friends if you want, and then it became like 5 or 6 other guys, and then they were like, all right, cool, we can just make it a party every now and then boom, 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 2 people in the supply closet, 3 people in the supply closet, and just having fun. I don't know.
Mm.
That's how I
Yeah,
think
I
it
mean,
happened.
that's what happens in like college and like sports teams too. Like there's just like you get like a group of guys who are like part of like a brotherhood or a team, and they're all super close, and then there's just a girl who just wants to like fit in and be popular, and she
Yeah,
opens up that those legs, and Everybody welcome.
Yeah, that was wild, man. Yeah,
But yes,
got caught.
third position is my last.
Third position.
If she was like 3 points higher on the like attractiveness scale, you know what? I'd probably go like second, third, latest fourth.
I think I would also pick third as my latest. Like if I'm fourth now, like I'd be like,
Okay. Also, what's the max number of guys you'd want to be part of this? I think
well, if I'm third, I don't care how many's after me at that point.
I know, but just overall, I don't want to be in a room with 10 guys. Just like
That's a lot of body heat.
it's a lot of random.
It's just kind of circling.
I don't even trust 3 guys.
I was kind of picturing like 3 rooms, like where she's like in the middle, and you like so like the guy that finishes goes out like a different door than come in. Like I don't want to see that guy coming out while I'm going.
Like you gotta enter stage right, exit stage left.
Yeah.
All right, let's do your thing.
It's like a one at a time thing. Okay, got it.
Take a number. Yeah. Now serving G2. That's me. It's my turn.
That's me. That's me.
They better God if it's more than like 6 guys, they better have like a buffet set up or something.
Little Gatorade,
like a snack table,
the warm up room.
Yeah,
like green
coconut
room,
water,
crafts table.
And then like afterwards, do they all just cuddle? Like what is that? What is that story?
I do not believe there is much cuddling.
Okay, maybe they just get some food and just hang out and drink beers and be like. Oh.
I could see they're like being like. I could see like after like a few guys finish, like you go and play like Xbox or something.
Yeah, yeah. You got somebody to play with.
Well, in this case, they go and like search a house for drugs after that.
You want to hand out tickets?
They go serve the community after this, guys.
Community was served. Oh man,
maybe they're each lasting 3 minutes. Who knows?
You know that poor woman. Like if it's 6 guys and it lasting more than like 5-6 minutes a piece, then the next guy's coming in fresh, just going to town.
Yeah,
raw. That's terrible. That's gotta hurt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they did not look like the unathletic cops either.
Yeah, some of those guys look big, like beefy. Mm-hmm. Like, all right, cool, man.
She chose them well.
Austin.
All right. I think so what we're gonna do, I think we'll end it here because we don't want this too long of a podcast. Thanks John for dropping in. Expect John to hop in here and there in the future because he loves the podcast, but only for a brief moment.
Mm-hmm.
And talk about fun things. Yeah, talk about fun things. Talk about fun things like orgies. But I think we're gonna do a Ghost Strong preview coming up, so we'll have you on that just real quick. Talk about training, all that stuff. But other than that, Chad, you got anything else?
Nah, man. I think this is a good first episode, and it was a little wild and a little serious. So I think it's a little good little bit of everything.
Little everything.
Yeah.
Hey, can we see the rest of your wall there, John? What else you got there?
Nothing much. It's just the
is that a sword?
It is the sword.
Yeah, that's the sword. You haven't seen us use the sword? We cut like
good Fruit Ninja.
we're gonna finish with this story.
I do remember that.
Before Fruit Ninja, we cut a cactus. Cactus.
Yeah.
And the fucking internet exploded with fucking cactus supporters, cacti people. They're like,
worse than horse people.
You're so cruel killing
it took cactus. That cacti thousands of years to grow that.
Blah, blah, blah.
And I was like, well, actually, I didn't get attacked too much. More so Kimmy, which I thought was like really funny because I don't know why. But the funny thing was that a few weeks after our neighbors complained about the height of the cacti and like the owners of the house had to pay for them to cut down anyways.
Wow.
I was like, well, I'm just saving some money.
So you guys got hounded by cacti supporters, and then you had to get it cut down anyway.
Yeah.
Don't fuck with the cacti
Yeah.
people.
So yeah, don't fuck with the cacti people.
I didn't know there was a cacti support group. That's new.
They are a
They're
prickly group.
They're out there. All right.
they'll sting you.
Vicious.
Vicious. Yeah. But yes, that is a nice death sword.
Yeah, I think I cut a coconut with it.
Oh yeah, you did.
Yeah,
It's actually pretty impressive.
it was pretty. I was pretty happy. I was.
Yeah.
I wish more meats give away swords. Come on now.
Yeah, I haven't seen any in a while.
Let's
I
tell
I have
let's
never.
message let's message Micah and be like, listen, man, American Pro, axe.
Next year's meat entry fee is going to be $250 because we want access.
It's not that expensive. It's like $200.
No, I don't have to pay it.
Oh wow. All right, guys. I don't know how we're gonna close this out in a fancy way other than thanks for tuning in, and please like and subscribe. If you want to listen on probably on iTunes, Spotify, obviously YouTube. Now you can see our faces. I know people have been complaining about that. And John, you're super clear, man. I don't know what you're on, but
I got a new laptop.
oh, nice.
Fancy.
Fancy.
Yeah, that's why it took me a little bit because I had to download Zoom.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, like I said, everyone, thanks for joining us. And thanks you, John, for coming on. And we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Peace. All right. Just stop recording.